Alright, this is Dustin Nichol from Unspun Entertainment, and this is the Unspun and Unwound podcast, episode 2. I had an awesome conversation with Jeff Downie from the Old Firehouse Wine and Cocktail Bar about mixology. I wish I could have gone more in depth. I had a few too many drinks, like 5 cocktails and 3 flights of whiskey, just kind of waiting around. It was a busier night than what we thought it would be, and they need a little bit of help behind the bar. I encourage people to try their food and stuff. I don't work for them. I'm gonna end up playing a show there, but honestly, Jeff is a great guy. He's gonna end up letting me record some podcasts there live more. Within it being live, there is a little bit of background noise in this, and there's a little bit of background noise from my cat right now. But I tried to do my best with the audio. It was kind of hard, and splicing audio is way harder than what I thought, especially when some of my recorder stuff went down and I had to use my backup recorder. I spliced the audio as best as possible, and it was one continuous conversation, but you'll hear a noticeable change in difference 6 minutes in. It's all around the same level, but it cleans up a lot better. So without further ado, I'm gonna stop making excuses for my amateur audio skills. Grow with us as we get better at this, and I'm just gonna let this podcast go on with Jeff Downie from the Old Firehouse Wine and Cocktail Bar. See you soon, folks.
Here for his arms up. That's good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Step away. Do I have to push a button?
Does it give the count?
1, 2, 3, filming.
Yeah, that would be filming. Sweet.
Awesome.
So I got it hit and record right now. This is the Unspun and Unwound podcast.
Here we go. 2. We made it.
Yeah, I don't know if you listen to the Lennon episode. It was kind of fun.
I will go back and listen to it tonight. I'm really, I've known Lennon a long time. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So I guess we're recording. Jeff Downie, owner of the Old Firehouse Wine and Cocktail Bar.
That's
my favorite bar in town. I've had a few too many cocktails waiting, but it's totally fine.
It turned out a little longer tonight, folks, than we had thought. St. Patty's Day at the wine bar, I thought might have been a little bit of a slower one, but we actually had a good little push tonight, and Dustin waited patiently, and we're all set to go. So welcome to the Wine and Cocktail Bar, Dustin. It's cool to have you, man. Cheers.
What did you even end up asking what this one was?
That little something I playfully called a happy hipster. I first want to disclose that I don't know a tremendous amount about hipster culture, and with all due respect, I think there's a lot of cool things about it. But for the sake of a cocktail name, we called it the Happy Hipster. We actually we use the local gin, the Ampersand Distilling Company gin that's made here at Saul Farm on, I believe it's Menzies Road, just in Duncan here. And we use that as well as some Aperol, Benedictine, green chartreuse, Regan's number 6 orange bitters, the expressed zest of the lemon peel, and of course a nicely shaped ice globe. So some, arguably some nice but pretty trendy cocktail ingredients in that one. So,
Yeah. I'll end up sending you the link for that Portlandia one.
yeah.
Or it's like a martini glass with the round ice ball. It's got like everything in it, like thousands of pieces
of garnish. Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's this and this, and I made my own bitters. And
Beautiful.
then the
I'd
guys,
love to see it.
"Oh, you got that? I got a beer. But yeah, I've
Cool.
pretty much with like this podcast, I love just shooting the shit, and like language is never an issue.
Yep.
Because I like drug and alcohol references, and I'm not down for editing nonstop.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, little throw out then to our friends at Ampersand Distilling Company, right here in sunny Cowichan and Duncan. Really like working with this gin. I took a silver medal at the International Spirits Competition April of last year, and it really set them on the map, so to speak, as a gin producer. They when the craft laws changed in British Columbia, allowing local product to be used in distilling, it gave this family an opportunity with a young master distiller chemist, Jeremy Schecht, and his parents, the opportunity to produce a real quality product. It's really fun to freestyle with as a bartender. I enjoy, it's a really floral gin with great botanicals. The juniper, I think, is imported from Romania, but the 7 other botanicals in the gin are local to Cowichan and BC. And it's really fun to freelance with it and try to create, specific profiles with, I think, probably, come up with a couple dozen recipes now, or cocktail, ingredient variations that work with ampersand, and it's been pretty cool. I tend to steer away from it with a lot of the known drinks, like a Negroni or
pretty
or an aviation.
Jennifer, like.
Yeah, absolutely. So it really comes across, works well with different liqueurs and and different vermouths. I think one of the best matches that I've found with it, when I just put nose of each together, is Maro Nannino. That's an Italian liqueur digestif that's in the Campari Aperol family, but it's a little sweeter and a little more fragrant, probably, and it can do well with lots of the different Giffard liqueurs, the creme de mure, blueberry with muddling some fresh. You do a drink with some local cucumber and blueberry, and muddle it up in the blueberry liqueur, and so had a lot of fun with that one. So there's probably a little bit of a run out set, but I love ampersand gin. So
I made the cougar juice with it, which is 2 ounces of the ampersand.
Oh, cool.
I kind of cheat because I get this Del Monte juice, and it's lime, mint, aloe, coconut water, orange and ginger bitters, and a little bit of dry vermouth in there.
Right.
Just it's cougar juice because it's full of gin and electrolytes.
Everything
the cougar needs.
Right. Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yeah. But other than that, I love that kind of stuff. You made me that pear in the bush.
Oh yeah, the plum in the
bush.
bush today. We hit send on the feature sheet probably a little too early on that name, but plum in the bush. I brought in it's St. Paddy's Day today. First off, so this second podcast of yours is on St. Paddy's Day, 2016.
And no better place to do it. I've been hanging out at my favorite bar.
We bought a bottle of Bushmills Black Bush triple distilled Irish whiskey today, and had some plums and a really nice plum drinking vinegar that we bought from a company in Portland, as a matter of fact, and brought up. So I used a few dashes of that and muddled it with the fresh plum and a little bit of lime and a drizzle of orgeat or almond syrup and some plum bitters, Prugna, which is a Southern Italian plum liqueur, and then of course the Black Bush Irish whiskey, hence the plum in a bush concept. But yeah, a few of those went out tonight for sure.
That is pretty amazing. And after the podcast, you don't mind if we bring the camera around back to like look at your awesome selection of bitters?
No, we'll bring it right over. I tell you what though, I'm just gonna run over. Can I run over just for 1 minute?
I can record by myself. That's
okay.
Totally fine. So if anyone doesn't know, and if we haven't covered, Jeff Downie, amazing mixologist, such a repertoire of knowledge, made me at least 4 or 5 cocktails this evening. So this is the Unspun and Unwound. Let you go on that side if you wanted to stay out of the camera angle. The Unspun and Unwound podcast, episode 2. And Kim is the master camera worker. Awesome. Are you going to go pick up your son or meet him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I actually get this turned off for your time.
Oh well, I'm not terribly worried about it. I might actually switch to streaming service in a second and pause it.
Because this did go off. It's not counting anymore.
Oh, that would make sense.
But I think you got your 7 minutes or whatever on your...
Yeah,
Hopefully you got all of him. That's all I care.
that's totally.
I will leave it.
I think I might switch to the streaming service so then it's just all saving to the internet and not my phone.
Better.
I have so much.
Unless you have Pam on here that you got back from Pam or something. Because I think you might have run out of space.
Probably.
Anyway, I have to go. My kid is like pacing up and down by the car. Am I on video? No, I'm not. It's turned off. Okay, give me hugs. I'm out. Have a good night. Walk safely home.
Bye, Kim.
Bye, Jeff.
Thank you, my girl. Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's great.
Yes.
Our artist in residence here at the wine bar this month, Kim Yannick.
At Kim Yannick Portraits on Instagram.
Yeah,
Follow.
Just feel free to walk around and show off the artwork.
Thank
Yeah.
See you guys.
Thank you, Dustin. Sorry about that, man.
Oh, that's no problem.
Go.
But yeah, as far as everything
you.
goes, like, I can edit out random little bits and
okay.
errors if I really have to. I try not to because
Yeah, you want to have the kind of the continuity and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
that was the fun thing about recording with Lennon because it was just back and forth, and if we started talking about music, he doesn't really have a whole lot going on right now
At the
other than
moment,
writing and stuff, so it's just delved into everything.
Cool.
So
Cool, man.
the blind swordsman, the blind bartender.
Yeah. Well, they gave me that that moniker, I guess. Well, you know, a couple of guys gave the moniker Zatoichi, the blind barsman, in reference to the Japanese cult movie Zatoichi, the blind swordsman. I been free of drinking myself for a little over 20 years, so a couple of decades. I had a time in this industry which I felt in my blood from my youth. My first job was as a dishwasher and then a busboy in this really neat boutique hotel in West Vancouver called the Park Royal Hotel. I was 13 years old when I got the job, and I grew up working at this place. I was there almost a decade, and there was a great pub down in the basement that brought people from all over the Lower Mainland every Friday and Saturday night. Had a great little cocktail vibe and culture there, even as early as the mid '80s, through the early '90s, and soaked a lot of that in. I worked in a fine dining room as a busboy, and then a wine steward, and later as a bartender. And so I throw out to a few of my mentors of past, Scott Leckie, Jamie Lee, Dave Bath, Chris Anstey, Guy Easter, Scott Phillips, a whole bunch of, and Pete Dias, all worked at the Parker Hotel, and and I really absorbed a lot about the industry and especially the culture of craft products. And it's neat. Fast forward many years later, and I had an antiquarian bookstore in a building in downtown Duncan.
I still love Gallo Glass.
Gallo Glass books.
I didn't even know that you owned it.
I was. That was my. I've actually owned Gallo Glass for 20 years. This year is my 20th year. It's unfortunate the bookstore is finally closing. Its little location on Canada Avenue will be closing at the end of April, and I guess it's now official. The notice has been put in, and it's time to just focus strictly on the bar. But when I made the change from the bookstore to the bar, it was something that came with heavy heart, but a sense of optimism about kind of this new style of business. It could maybe throw down and work in Cowichan, and it comes from my past loves. And the bartending part of this, which is really my art now, didn't come forward immediately. It sort of got gently coddled out of me, about 6 months into my project here, by a local family, the Gagnes, and by my first associate that I worked at Wine Bar, Sonia, who also was pretty creative, pushing me into it, and it brought a lot of my past up to me. But I quickly realized that I still had the penchant for remembering technique, and and the interest and the fervor, in the world of fine spirits and liqueurs, and I wasn't that far away from just kind of renewing and refreshing all of that and applying it here, but doing it, in my world of sobriety. So I don't actually taste anything, which is probably highly unfortunate, but I use a pretty good sense of smell and a fairly advanced understanding of my ingredients. I read a great deal. I mean, that's where the other part of my business life has come in. I've assembled a library of probably over 70 books now on cocktail culture and history and wine, of course.
To see that.
Yeah, it's at home in a great glass cabinet that I have right by my bed. And so I usually go to bed reading something. Right now I'm reading David Wondrich's Imbibe again, which is a sort of almost like a virtual cocktail archaeologist's look back at drinking through the social history of the last 150 years, and all sorts of wonderful sort of findings and recollections, and it's a lot of fun. But I got a lot of technical books that I read. I've got a lot of bar manuals. I've got a lot of the facsimiles of a lot of the early bar books. I had a few things in my antiquarian bookshop, but I had never hung on to them. I kind of regret that now. I've had for first editions and the like, but I've got certainly a good representation of a lot of the facsimiles of a lot of the important books, like Professor Jerry Thomas and the Savoy cocktail book, and a lot of the great classics.
What's the Beach Bum one? Is it Beach Bum Jerry's?
The Beach Bum, is that a tiki?
It was like, it was a series of tiki books.
Okay, yeah, Beach Bum, yeah. I'm vaguely familiar, though. Don't actually have any of those, but vaguely familiar with them.
Well, tiki stuff, is nearly impossible to find around here.
Yeah.
Or extremely expensive, and you're going to be paying $15-20 a glass and that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, they do a tiki night or maybe even a week at Clive's Cocktail Lounge in Victoria at the Executive, and they've assembled, I guess, a lot of the drinkware for it, which is pretty fun. And they usually put forth original recipes and get into the spirit of dress for the occasion and stuff like that. We rock a few good tiki style drinks here, but haven't as yet had a party over it or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a hard one to do. Yeah. Like, especially make it look good and not too plastic.
Exactly.
I forget the flower necklaces, whatever you call
The
them.
lays,
Yeah.
Hawaiian lays. That's right. Yeah.
Because they just look really cheap, especially when they're from a dollar store or small party kind of store.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You got to put some some real thought and theme into it, 100%. But we have done lots of we generally try to have a cocktail feature or two, every practically every day. I freestyle a lot with, but it's just probably simply the opportunity that I have as being the bar's owner as well as the head bartender. I really don't have anybody looking over my shoulder and
you know
telling
how
me
to
what
price your own things.
Yeah. So I've got that and the opportunity to buy what I wish within the legal laws of British Columbia, of course.
Yeah. Well,
But
I know
also the the opportunity to experiment, try different things, and what I found here in Duncan has been really impressive is there's a really eager audience, yourself included. But it's been really great. The reception to the world of cocktail culture has been greater than I had anticipated it might be. I really had this initial vision of a wine bar, that was, I guess, the first road that I went down, thinking that it was a unique alternative to, to a pub or to a restaurant per se, because it was focused in on the world of wines in which, we sit very much in a burgeoning young wine region here in Cowichan. And, and looking at that and having, sort of kind of tapas style small plates food to go with the wine. But, truthfully, it was really the addition of the cocktail program that really, I think, took the bar another step and gave us a chance to
pushed you over the top
to get a little bigger and and maybe to attract the types of chefs that we needed to be able to have the food that we were looking for. I'm really proud of what what our kitchen has done under Chef Rob Martin's tenure, and
I always enjoyed his food. And
yes, yeah.
I'm a member of my alcohol sipping society. I've only had one meeting of that so far, and it was just kind of a thing to bring a whole bunch of people together to try different spirits and stuff. Because who can really afford like $60 to $150?
Oh yeah.
Like most people I talk to, they see like a $30 to $50 2.6.
That's a little out of limits. Yeah.
But they apparently can't do math because a 24 pack of Budweiser is disgusting.
Yeah.
It costs $42.
$42, yeah.
So,
is that what a 24 pack of Buds are?
Yeah, between
geez.
42
it's gone up.
and like $46 right now. Like,
wow.
Not worth it.
No.
When you could just get good quality stuff, like you could get a bottle of wild turkey, alligator char, delicious whiskey,
bourbon,
for what is it? I think it's like $28 Canadian or something right now.
Yeah.
My favorite bourbon, and I've tried like the Four Roses. Like I've tried so many single barrel things.
Right.
And like nothing comes close to the standard.
To the standard wild turkey.
Yeah.
Other
than, of course, the Diamond.
Which you had a chance to try here. We actually had brought in a spirit release, the Diamond Anniversary Edition, the 60-year, the celebrated release of that. The wild turkey. It was close to $200 a bottle, including taxes. So really, an opportunity to have a bar where you can feature some stuff like that and have a chance to have a $17 ounce of something and not have to purchase the whole bottle, which
exactly. Like, well, if I had the money I would, because it is an amazing whiskey. But at the same time, I can totally understand anyone who just wants to try that little bit. I'd recommend anyone who wants to just try something before they get it, including just your like high-end, lower-end whiskeys, like your Ardbeg, because that's around $100 a bottle depending on where you go. I can't quote every store, but it's expensive and it's not for everyone.
No, that's right.
It's heavily peated. I love it.
But would it be okay if I go over and make a cocktail really quick?
Another one? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna make one for Chef here. He's put in a good day, and it's St. Patty's. It's something I want to make him today. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can that be?
Oh, definitely.
That be
I'm
done?
just gonna take over by myself for a little bit.
Okay.
Reiterate some things.
And I'm back. I'm just going to record over some of the ramblings that I was trying to record while Jeff was gone. He'll be back in a quick second here. And yeah. Here we go, Dust. That's the beauty about editing.
Yeah, yes, you're going to be able to put this all back, but appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I really appreciate all these amazing ass cocktails you've given me or made me tonight. I'm gonna have a nice tab when I leave. But
it's all in the experience, I think. And that's the thing that's probably waking up a little more in the marketplace is people are starting to, one at a time, people are starting to learn that it can be an experience to go out and drink and try things that sort of challenge your taste buds. And trying, cocktails that are, maybe a little, hand created and a little unique from the ordinary that's sort of out there in the world of mixed drinks, right?
Well, that's always the fun thing to do is just try something new every single time. There's something sickens me about getting the exact same thing every time. This is like my standard.
Yeah.
At least until you find something good. Like if you haven't tried everything on the shelf, you could use cat litter as an example.
Yeah.
Like I've tried every cat litter at the store, and I find this is the good one.
Right.
So that's in like one sense, but you don't know unless you try.
Yeah.
And like, because I've had to make whiskey drinks for Kendall. She doesn't like whiskey straight.
Right. Yeah. So you're coming up with ways to kind of blend in a whiskey into a cocktail for her to be able to appreciate. Yeah.
Because she's very citrus loving and
right.
Elderflower, anything is pretty well a hit.
Yeah.
Especially around this town, I find. Elderflower, anything in this town.
In this town tends to work. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. We have the Saint Germain, the elderflower liqueur, as a staple product, and actually that's something that can marry up pretty well with the ampersand gin too that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Or vodka and honey and lemon, with the elderflower as a profile. It's that's a popular drink as well, and coming into spring now too. I mean, it'd be nice to come up with maybe a little elderflower syrup or something to different from the liqueur to accent different cocktails with.
Yeah, kind of a cordial or something.
Something like that. Yeah. Bye, Jackie.
Yeah, I was playing around with Kendall's mom's homemade elderflower cordial.
Oh yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I've also tried using like quince jelly. Like
quince is awesome.
I know so many like old ladies that just hook me up with all these awesome things. And like, how am I going to use this?
Yeah. Actually, that's one of the funnest little games that one could play is just to go to any fridge in a house and look and pull out ingredients in said fridge. Have a base spirit to start with, and make a cocktail like literally out of the contents of any particular fridge. It's you can really heighten the adventure if you have 3 or 4 guys with the same mandate come up with a drink as well, and it's a pretty fun way to to be creative, inventive, and get all the guys working in a little competition against one another. So.
Actually, Louis that works here showed me how to do an old fashioned.
Yeah.
But since we didn't have all of the ingredients, we didn't have cherries, we didn't have certain things, so we used orange peel, some quince jelly rather than a syrup.
Yeah.
And cut out the cherry because a standard maraschino cherry I find disgusting.
Yeah.
Those Luxardo dark cherries are delicious.
Delicious, but hard to get.
Yeah.
Your hands on.
And really expensive.
Yeah, they're quite expensive. Yeah, not many bars actually will commit to those.
Yeah, they'll buy those baking cherries.
Yeah, but there's so many drinks where a cherry is required as a garnish that it's really nice to have them. And,
Yeah.
That's the old fashioned, just as a construct, is it was a very simple, perhaps the first American cocktail, and sugar, bitters, distilled spirit, and citrus. One can play around with the construct using different spirits, and I have a lot of fun with that. I have a rum old fashioned that's one of my favorites to pull out with a 15-year-old Cuban rum.
That's what you made me.
Ron Matusalem. Do you remember that one? I have a little bit of cinnamon in there, and some Scrappy's lime bitters, and a little whisper of lime juice. And
last time I'm in, because one of the marks of a good bar, and like I have my dive bars, which is like a certain thing, and then I have like my nice bars that I actually like to hang out in and talk to people and go on a date, that kind of thing. And going to see a bartender and saying "surprise me."
Yeah.
If you go to a lot of just standard, like beer in a bottle, beer in a glass, and or here's our selection of 6 spirits. Then they don't like being surprised with that.
Yeah.
But I like coming in here, just being like, well, what do you got on special? Do you want to just quit and mix me up something with rum? And then, bam.
Something comes.
Yeah.
That's one of the funnest things. I'm really grateful that we've been able to kind of create, again, this culture where people will come in and do that. And a lot of people actually come in and do that. It's really neat to work in that environment because it's so much fun to just have that exhilaration of creating something right on the fly from scratch. Where just you take those mental moments just to come up with a construct and go, that's it. That's exactly what I'm going to make that person. And as you're doing it, you might actually make a simple change or a shift, right in the moment when you're executing a cocktail and then getting it out there to the guest and seeing what they think. I think it's actually a fairly probably a unique thing. I mean, I don't think that necessarily happens at every bar. Even a good cocktail bar. Sometimes they'll stick to, seasonal sheets or special sheets or special cocktails. But, that opportunity of freelancing like that is pretty cool, So much respect to all those that have enjoyed that. Hopefully we keep that going on.
Yeah, and that's where I was so excited to record this because, I'm a booze nerd.
Yeah, absolutely, man. More than I even thought in the beginning. I mean, I've come to learn that, you're really questing and thirsting for lots of knowledge on the subject. I think that's pretty cool. This is just the beginning of a relationship, I have a feeling. So. Oh,
definitely. I can't wait to start recording different cocktail videos from you.
Yeah. Well, that's something we haven't even tried yet. We'd like to give her a whirl and see.
Maybe hopefully pitch on some amazing artisanal ingredients because it's impossible to get them in town. And I'm not trying to pitch for people trying to make a co-op or something, like a booze co-op, but maybe in the future.
Well, you never know which direction the laws go,
Because there's certain ingredients that you have, like certain bitters, certain vinegars, things like that it kind of raise the alkalinity that I think would be really useful for just different things that I kind of like.
I've really struggled with with supplies like that. I mean, I find I have to order a lot of stuff, sometimes online, sometimes through local businesses like in Victoria. I've had a lot of help from Shirelli's at Fort and Foul Bay, which is a cheese shop or cheese shop deli for all intents and purposes. But they have a little selection of real quality cocktail bitters and cocktail accoutrements, and as well as the catalog leads and things like that to get you certain things. And but I find that there's no sort of one-stop shop for cocktail either accessories or just accompaniments. At least not anywhere that I know in BC. So it's really something you piece together over time. We've got a pretty deep bitters collection now, but it's really been the result of just foraging for lots of different things over a period of a few years now, and just kind of adding to the collection. And certain things take a while to go through, but but they sit well, and they'll save. So
Yeah. Oh, well, I learned that lesson with celery bitters.
yeah.
It's like, oh, what do I use this for? And I made like a variation on a whiskey sour, which I called a sour smash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
like a whiskey sour with a whiskey smash kind of
Oh.
variation, using like a blend of bitters because the celery is just so overpowering.
They're so overpowering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's where I love to shoot the shit and find these cool cocktails. Once we finish hitting record here, I don't know whenever you'll want to stop. I got a little extra timer right here. We're at about 40 minutes almost.
Are we really? Wow. It's
Yeah.
amazing how time flies, when you're sitting and talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to edit out 5 minutes where I was rambling by myself, which is totally fine because you don't know how awkward it is trying to like record yourself in a bar
Yeah.
and like start talking to yourself.
To yourself, like there's people
And
around at
over there,
tables
there's,
behind
like,
us. Yeah.
All these people
Gotcha,
just
man.
like staring at me. I'm just gonna keep going with it. If I look like I'm talking into a camera, then it might be okay.
This is a perfect spot in the bar, though. I'm so glad we tried this out. This is what we call effectively sidebar at the wine bar, and it came about as as sort of a secondary bar when we went through an occupancy increase and took over a spot that I had originally leased to a tenant. And so we created this kind of sidebar area that I think is one of the coolest spots to sit in this place because you kind of get a view of everything. You've got the bar just right in your sight there, and you've got the ability to watch both doors and people coming in, and
This is
and you're
my
sort
new
of just
favorite
in behind
spot.
this little pillar here, and it's kind of this sort of hovel, this spot that. But yet we don't get it sat out very often. It's so funny. I mean, if I came into this place and I didn't know it, I think I'd love to sit here. But this is actually a very cool spot.
This
Even
is
as the
my
owner
new
of the
spot.
establishment, to do the way you set everything up to do a podcast here is really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about this spot, and maybe next time I'll put something on the pillar here.
Right on the pillar itself. Yeah.
Even if it's your events page or whatever, I love the logo. I love all
Yeah,
that
just
stuff.
having something to have a throw out there. Some stuff coming up. Yeah.
And I'm excited to end up playing at.
Yeah,
Nice.
we'll definitely do a DJ night here real soon. So we got something booked.
April 30th.
Awesome. There
Yeah.
you go. That'll right from the live DJ spot right here. Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Bar's not too far away.
No, that's
Yeah.
right. Well, we'll be able to keep an eye on it, and we'll make sure you got a drink in hand when you need one.
Yeah, well, and it's perfect for kind of streaming. It's perfect for just hanging out. Like, honestly, when I'm at my house, I sit and I mix and I do all that stuff. So this is actually the perfect time.
Yeah,
if I
cool.
wanted to be lazy about it. Well, I don't even know how long I'm playing necessarily, but I don't really care because this is my favorite bar.
Oh, thank you, Dust. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Cool, brother. Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity, and
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you know what? I might make this a short interview so then I can quickly get some snapshots of your
of the bar.
bar and selection if you're willing.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And yeah, 'cause it's almost my bedtime.
Okay.
I
You
gotta
got early
work
morning?
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I booked today off and got taxes and all that
Oh.
other junk done, but
Good for you, man. Good for you. Well, this has been a real honor. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank
there's
you.
something there for somebody to be interested in, but it was sure fun
Yeah.
for me.
so far like 0 streaming people, but that's usually how it goes with Periscope.
Yeah.
Like usually when I'm streaming, it ends up being to like one kid, and they could be like across the world. I think one time I was trying to do something like me making drinks or me
Yeah.
playing music, and I was streaming to one 12-year-old girl in England, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'm just gonna get out of here.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, the potential is huge, right? So.
Oh yeah. Periscope I've just kind of started playing with, and like you'll see people show up and then leave, and like, oh, there's no one here.
Right. Well, that's cool. That's what that is right down the corner there. So you can
Yeah,
see
and
if
they
there's anybody there. And,
Tap on it. You can double tap the thing, and
oh, right on.
yeah, it's kind of cool for live streaming, but it's not popular in Canada yet. And okay, I should probably exit this.
Cool.
Confirm, because I'm running out of memory.
Well, thank you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I'm really excited. 31 minutes of recording.
Is that right? Okay, so hopefully there's something there.
Just
when you
all
go through
video
it.
stuff, and I might even just save the video. Try to master it with
With the recording. Well, it'd
either
be
this audio or this audio.
any opportunity, I guess, is a chance to practice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice with Lennon's, and then having friends over for just like making a couple drinks or a couple beers, and then just seeing like, oh, let's set it up over here. There's some really cool stuff, even like Led Zeppelin's recordings,
Right,
where
right.
they'd set microphones up like way up high in the room to record John Bonham playing drum solos.
Cool, man.
There's
Then
so
you got
much
that-
to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm gonna sign off on that one.
Okay.
And
Right on.
I will record all that other junk. So
Okay.
Jeff Downie, it was awesome.
Thank you,
I
Dustin.
loved recording,
Appreciate
and
it,
I
man.
loved hanging out here all day to drink. and-
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed having you, man. That was really nice. Like, I hope you get something out of that.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
I'd definitely try it again with another. Yeah. I mean, there's
Yeah.
lots to talk about. It's just, yeah.
Oh, there's the world of booze is just unlimited.
Very cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, whenever you're ready, if you want to take a few photos, I'll see if I can put the bar back to kind of making it look a little.
Yeah, no rush. I'm gonna start clearing up that stuff. I guess as I tidy this stuff up, I'm gonna record a little bit longer. This has been Unspun and Unwound podcast, episode 2. Find us at www.unspunentertainment.com. Subscribe to our podcast. Hit up our Amazon banner at the very bottom of the page. I've had such a great time hanging out here. I'm a little smashed. I might need another coffee before I walk home. This has been great. I'm recording this outro later, so if I repeat myself, don't feel bad.